Hi, I'm Andoni Zaldumbide, and today I'm going to be doing my return demo on how to top and tail a baby, otherwise known as simply giving him a sponge bath. Okay? Now, the difference between topping and tailing and a full-scale tub bath is when it comes to topping and tailing, you could do this at just about any time of the day, just to make sure that the baby is clean, make sure there's no physical dirt on the baby. All right? Whereas a full-scale tub bath, you shouldn't do that every day. It should be about maybe once a week or once every couple of days as well. So, before we proceed, if you watched my my baby bathing video, if you watch my baby bathing video, we still have similar things that need to be done, and we have similar equipment as well. So first, you want to set the room. You want to make sure that the surface that you're working on is sanitized. You also want to make sure that the temperature of your room is right. It shouldn't be too hot, it shouldn't be too cold. So turn off any ACs or any air or any electric fans you might have on. You also want to shut the doors and the windows so that it doesn't change the temperature of the room, and also for privacy purposes, go ahead and shut the curtains if you have to. This sort of job could get a bit messy, so it's actually handy to have an apron on while you do this. Okay, now that we have set the room, let's go through some of the things that we're going to need. So you're going to basically need the same things that we used when we did the baby bathing video, minus the tub. We will not be needing the tub for this purpose. But if you don't remember what the objects that we need, you don't remember the equipment that we need to do the topping and tailing of the baby, then let me breeze through a couple of them. This is usually optional, but it helps when you have a rubber mat so that nothing slips around. Okay, it helps when you have a rubber mat. You're also once again going to be needing 2 basins for water, 1 basin for soapy water, and 1 for rinsing. Speaking of water, we want to be using cooled boiled water. When I say cooled boiled water, if you don't have any, just fill a pot or a kettle full of water, put it on the stove, crank it to high, boil the water for about 5 or 10 minutes. This ensures that it kills off any microorganisms that may be in the water. Once 10 minutes is over, turn off the fire and let the water cool down completely, all right? You don't want it to be too hot because we do not want to scald skin. At the same time, you don't want it to be too cold because it will cause the baby discomfort. You just want it to be cool to the touch, okay? So to check if it's the right temperature, take some of that water and pour a little bit of it onto the inner part of your forearm, okay? If you experience any pain, that means it's too hot. So for those people with high pain thresholds, you might have to have an assistant for this one. You are also going to be needing some towels, okay? 1 towel is going to be for when we place the baby on the table as we top and tail them. Another one is for drying purposes. You will be needing, of course, fresh cotton balls and a receptacle for when you need to dispose of those used cotton balls. In this case, I'm using a soup bowl. You're going to be needing some liquid soap. If you have any baby safe liquid soap, that would be great. Some barrier cream for when we change the baby. So we're going to be applying this to the baby's perineal area before we give her a new diaper. Rubbing alcohol for cleaning in the some of the corners that our washcloth can't reach sometimes. Speaking of which, you will also be needing a washcloth. A small face towel will work just fine. Fresh diapers, some fresh diapers for when we change the baby, and some fresh clothes as well. And well, that's just about it. Some of the things you won't be able to see here, namely the bucket for when I'm done using some of the used water. That way I don't have to keep going back and forth between the bathroom and where I'm working right now. A trash can, Of course, you'll need a trash can to get rid of the used cotton balls and of the dirty diaper if you're using a disposable one. If not, if you're using a cloth one, just, well, don't throw the used diaper in the same laundry basket where you throw all your clothes. Otherwise, laundry day is not going to be a very nice day. All right. Now that we have all of our equipment, let's set our area up so that we can begin bathing the baby. Once again, I apologize that I'm using a selfie cam, so you're going to be seeing the baby upside down a lot in this video. All right. Okay, so let's begin. Let's take our baby. All right. So in this case, we're not going to be using the bathtub. All right, we're not going to be needing the bathtub for this purpose because we're essentially giving the baby a sponge bath. So this will not be requiring a large amount of water. What we're going to be using is, of course, a moistened towel to clean the baby. Speaking of towels, I'm going to lay one of the towels that I displayed earlier onto the mat. This is so that we have a dry surface and a softer surface for when we place the baby on. So, take our baby. Okay, now whenever you do this, you want to make sure that you only expose the parts that you're going to be washing, because we don't want the baby to feel cold. We don't want the baby to feel any discomfort at all. Now, another thing is, one part of the baby that we will not be washing will be the hair, all right? We're just going to be cleaning her face, her chest, her upper and lower extremities, and her perineal area. Nothing else, all right? If you're going to shampoo her hair, well, you might as well give her a full-scale tub bath in that case. Okay, so now that we're about to clean our baby up, or about to top and tail our baby, the first thing we need to do is we need to prepare all of the water that we're going to be using for today, right? So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to take some cool boiled water, and we're going to be filling up our basins. Now, seeing that this basin over here is going to be for the soapy water, I'm just going to squirt a little bit of liquid soap in. It doesn't have to be too much. I'm going to lightly lather it up. This will be for a little later. In the meantime, first let's clean our baby's face, okay? So, if you watched my baby bathing video earlier, we're going to follow the same sequence as we did. If you've forgotten it, here's how we're going to do it. You take a new cotton ball, dip it in the cool boiled water, squeeze out as much excess water as possible. We need the cotton ball to be wet, not soaking, okay? And the same sequence as we did, we're going to start from her nostril and go downwards and away. And once you're done using it, you dispose of it into the receptacle. Let's do the other side now. Dip, squeeze, wipe once, away, and dispose. Now let's go under her eyes, okay? Not on her eyes, under her eyes, okay? So now sometimes you'll notice that there's sometimes crust forming at that part inside of her eyes, okay? That can sometimes be a bit of a pain to remove. So your best way to remove that is you would take a new washcloth and you would moisten it in the cool boiled water, squeeze out as much water as possible from it. and you're going to lay it on the baby's eyes for a few seconds, okay? This is to moisten the crust that is formed on her eyelids to make them easier to remove, okay? Once that's done, we can now resume cleaning. Let's start from her eyes. Once again, cotton ball, water, squeeze it out, and then from inwards to the outwards. We go with the same contour like so, okay? Maybe at most we'll do it twice, just to be sure. Let's do it again. We're gonna go on the other side as well. We go to her forehead now. Dip, squeeze from the center, going outwards to the side, and dispose. Let's do it again. Dip, squeeze in the center, going outwards to the side, and dispose. We're now going to the sides, the jawline, okay? Dip, squeeze, like so. Dip, squeeze from here, like so. You can also clean her cheeks as well and her mouth at the same time. We dip, we squeeze, and out this way. Try not to apply too much pressure on the baby as she is quite delicate, or he for that matter. Dip, squeeze, like so. We go to the neck as well. Dip, squeeze, and from here, outwards like that. Dip, squeeze, like so. Like that. And now our baby's face is clean. So now after that, we're going to clean the rest of her body, okay? So, I'm gonna put away our cotton balls for now, because we're going to be relying on the washcloth. Now, once again, once you're done washing a particular area, you want to dry it immediately so that the baby does not feel cold, okay? So, we're gonna start over here with the chest, like so, the chest, and the upper and the shoulders as well. Try to keep one hand on the baby while you're doing this. We take the washcloth, we dip it a little bit into the soapy water, squeeze out as much excess as possible, and we're going to just wipe down like so. Once again, try not to apply too much pressure. You just want to get rid of any excess dirt that's on. I'm now going to rinse out some of the water that we used. If there's any lather, that's why we have the rinsing water over here. I'm going to dip it into the rinsing water. Or better yet, the best thing to do, well, that's exactly why I keep a bucket next to me. Alright, so when I'm done using the soapy water, when I'm done doing this, I can then just squeeze out all of the soapy water, and then I can now dip my washcloth into the rinse water. And then, like so, I can wipe off any lather that may have accumulated. Of course, squeeze out the excess. Always squeeze out the excess into your rinse, into your waste bucket. Okay, once that's done, I'm now going to wash the arms. Okay, I'm gonna first expose one arm. Okay. Oh, before I do that, let's take our drying towel. And dry her promptly. I know it's a bit big, but I don't want to have to unfurl such a very big towel. Now that's out of the way, let's wash her arm, okay? Raise her arm. Make sure if she likes to hold you, let her hold you, okay? Let her hold you. It's perfectly fine. Right. So once again, into the soapy water. Squeeze out all of the excess into the bucket next to me. And once again, we're going to wipe from the wrist going towards the heart. This, of course, promotes good blood flow. If a little suds accumulate, so a few bubbles accumulate, well, then we're going to rinse it off. Dip into the rinse water and drain into your bucket, like so. And when you're done cleaning that part, take your towel, take the drying towel, and dry promptly. If you have a smaller one, that'll work just fine. This is just for demonstration purposes. All right, here we go. So now that we're done with that part, I now want to wash the other arm. So once again, the same procedure. The washcloth goes into the soapy water, drain out the excess, and now we clean the arm. Once again, wrist going to the heart for good blood flow. Now we drain into the rinse water, drain, then wipe off any accumulated suds. Once again, from the wrist going down to the heart. And once that's done, once you're done, we're going to dry her once again. Okay, very good. Now, the next part we're going to be cleaning, we're now going to clean her bottom. Okay, we're going to be cleaning her legs, we're going to be cleaning her perineal area, like so. Okay, I apologize in advance, but she's going to have to be upside down for this job. You're going to be seeing her upside down for this job. I'm going to now uncover the baby and expose the perineal area. If she's wearing a diaper, you're going to have to undress it. Okay. Hopefully she didn't make a boom boom. I'm praying right now. Now I know you might be noticing that I'm carrying her with one arm. I'm a very big person. I can carry a baby with one arm. If that's done, if it's a very, very dirty diaper, do not throw this into the same laundry basket as all your other clothes. You want to throw this in the sink. You want to throw this maybe in your shower so you can wash it separately later to get rid of the stains. We get rid of the swaddling cloth now. And this, we're going to get rid of the swaddling cloth. Actually, no. What we're going to do is we're going to take the swaddling cloth and we're going to cover the top so that she does not feel too cold above. Okay? So, here's what we do now. We're going to start with the legs. The same procedure as follows. Take your washcloth. Oh, while you're seeing that I've been draining a lot, I might have to add a little bit more water periodically. Okay? You need to add a little bit more liquid soap. Well, then that's fine. Give it a little bit of a stir. Take the washcloth. And once again, try to keep one hand on the baby at the time to let the baby know that you haven't left them. Take the washcloth, dip into the soapy water, drain the excess, and this time, and once again, we're going from the ankle to the heart on all sides on each leg. Squeeze. Now the rinse. I'm going to dry her as quickly as possible. Now, I am exposing both legs, so I'm going to have to work relatively quickly on this one. Now the other leg, once again, the soapy water. Squeeze it out into your bucket. Then you go from the ankle towards the heart. And now you rinse. Now, here's the messy part that's gonna come. Now we have to clean her perineal area. This is where we go back to the cotton balls, okay? We don't wanna be using the washcloth as it may be a bit too rough for the baby. So in this case, we're gonna be washing, first we're gonna go around the thighs, like so. We're going to be, in this case, what we're going to be using is a bit different. No, we're still going to be using a little bit of the soapy water because we're going around like so. Now once again, here's the cotton ball. Dip into the soapy water this time. Squeeze out the excess, and then we go around the thigh like this into the perineal area. Do the same with the rinsing water as well. Dip, squeeze, and wipe in one direction and once only, or at most twice if needs be. Now we're going to be going to her sensitive parts. In this case, she's female, so what we're going to do is we need to wipe from front to back. Okay, so from here going this way, all right? Never the other way around, as this may cross-contaminate. And no, we're not going to be using the soap, as this area is very, very sensitive, so we're just going to be using the cool boiled water for this case. Dip, squeeze, and wipe from here, front, going back. Now, we're going to have to end up cleaning her bottom. So your best bet is hold her like so. Make sure she's still in the swaddling cloth. Okay, I'm gonna go around like this, all right? And here, there's a cotton ball. Darn it. Okay, not that one. We're going to dip, squeeze, and then, in this case, we're going this way, again from front to back. Squeeze and like so. You might have to get in between the cheeks. Trust me, this is no walk in the park for me either. Maybe once, twice, but you want to make sure you get rid of as much fecal matter as possible, otherwise your baby's going to experience diaper rash. Okay, once that part is done, now we can dry her. And remember, do not rub, do not air dry, we're going to pat her dry. Okay? Pat dry. Okay, now that she's nice and dry, now we can clothe her again. Okay? I'm now going to be placing a fresh diaper. But before we do that, we need to apply the barrier cream. Okay? It doesn't have to be so much. She's a very small baby. You don't have to put an entire tablespoon's worth. Just maybe about the size of a green pea into your finger. Give it a little rub and rub around her thighs like so. Now that part is done, we can now apply the new diaper. In this case, once again, it is a pair of overnight pants. Okay, and now we're going to change the baby as well. Let's get rid of some of the items so we have a little bit more room. In this case, we're just going to put one of these oversized shirts on her so she can sleep well. I'm holding her on my shoulder right now because I now need to swaddle her once again. So let's get rid of this towel for now, or we can keep it on since it's quite soft for her. Okay, now let's just assume that I've got a brand new swaddling towel, a swaddling cloth that is. Then we're going to swaddle her like we did before, okay? Okay, I'm just going for the traditional swaddle right now, nothing too fancy. Doesn't need that many extra layers as we don't really live in a cold country at the moment. Okay, so now our baby has been topped and tailed. Now that our baby has been topped and tailed, we can now put her to sleep, okay? So for now, I'm just gonna put baby to sleep for the time being. Thank you, baby. So once she's asleep, now is a good time to do aftercare. So dispose of any water that's already been used. Sanitize the area that you've just worked on and put it away. All right. Dispose of any used diapers and also of any used cotton balls. And that is how you top and tail a baby. So if you guys like what you see, please give me a like. If you think that I missed a couple of things, please tell me so in the comments. I hope you enjoyed my video, and I'll see you next time.